although Fred eventually gets the job, there was actually an alternate version of this scene which dives a little bit deeper into how Fred gets it. Because right now in the show, it's just kind of hand waved away with a signature, but the writers came up with something else entirely.
Interesting. Do we perhaps have that to play for our audience?
Yeah, I was able to dig it up. I had to grease some palms. I had to pay $4.99.
Well,
I
that's a
used
dollar
my.
more than the Josie and the Pussycats movie. The finest cinema I viewed this week.
It's is that the only movie you watched this week?
I don't watch a lot of movies, Hunter.
But yeah, I used my weekly stipend in order to get my hands on this scene where it explains how Fred was able to get this construction job since what we get in the episode isn't really satisfying.
All right, let's play it.
What a lovely presentation, Fred. Unfortunately, the buyer already accepted another bid.
Wow. I wish you told me that 90 minutes ago before I made an entire presentation.
Well, there may be room for negotiation, but there's one problem.
There sure is. Your son doesn't know anything about music.
I'm sorry, Miles. What?
I just blindfolded Archie, led him into my drum room. He couldn't tell a piccolo snare from a soprano snare by taste.
Miles, stop leading blindfolded children to the back room and making them lick your piccolo. That's the 6th time this fall.
Look, you two clearly have a whole art versus realpolitik thing to work out on your own, but I have white blue-collar workers, the most important workers according to news networks during election years. They need this job. So can we just get back to business?
Yes, as I was saying, the buyer only speaks Portuguese and wants constant communication, so the builder must be able to speak the language.
That won't be a problem. I know some Portuguese. I once did a semester abroad in Lisbon.
Lisbon? That's what that idiot son of yours guessed when I asked him if he knew where the John Coltrane European Tour album was recorded. Everyone knows it was Stockholm.
Can we discuss Scandinavian bebop LPs later? I'm under a lot of stress right now, and you've done nothing but insult me and my son the entire night. I just need to land this job.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't let me get in the way of destroying cultural landmarks, you filthy gentrifier.
Miles, Mr. Andrews is a working class man. You can tell by his flannel.
If he's working class, then I'm Thelonious Monk. You're a vampire, Mr. Andrews, and not a good jazz vampire like Marion Harris. You're the kind that sucks blood out of the American dream.
Listen, I have a mortgage and 15 employees. I didn't choose to live in a capitalist society, but I have to make do to provide for my son. When was the last time your saxophone stopped a yoga studio from opening in a low-income neighborhood? Kenny G, you wannabe Ornette Coleman fedora-wearing soul patch in 2017, slim-fast Wesley Snipes-looking-ass douche?
You know what, Fred? To stick it to my pretentious husband, I'm giving you the contract anyway. Eat shit, Miles.
Yeah, I can see why they cut that. Normally, Luke Perry is a much more, level-headed person. I feel like in this situation, it's probably more likely to suggest, like, look, what if we made this mixed-income housing? What if we really built class solidarity? We can avoid the gentrification process. That seems more like his way.
Yeah, I think something I was hearing when I was scouring the fan forums is the original title for this episode was going to be Falling Down, in reference to the movie of the same name, and it was going to start to show like Luke Perry beginning to crumble under the stress and his character really changing from a very positive figure to one that's a lot more negative and kind of cracking.
Oh, interesting.
Huh.